Welcome, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. It is time for our watch along, part one of two of our back to back live streams. So, we're going to be watching WCW Mayhem 1999. So, this Mayhem show was replacing the World War III pay per view, which usually took place in November when it comes to WCW. So, they scrapped the three-ring battle royal for the Mayhem 1999 show, and it was also a Mayhem 2000. But we're going to watch 1999. So, I'm going to give everybody about 5 minutes to get in and fire up the network. Then we're going to all watch the show together. I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday, has got to spend time with your family. Um, I did okay. Uh, whew, my stomach is still bubbling right now, so who knows how long I'm gonna be able to hold out, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be able to make it through the entire show. WG Phil, happy Thanksgiving, my friend. Says he's baking a chocolate cake, strawberry cake, and fudge brownies. Look at you out here baking, man. Uh, you know, all my mama asked me to make was fried cabbage. That's all she really wanted me to make. So I made that. I didn't put any salt in it. Well, garlic salt, technically, but I didn't really put any salt in it. But everybody seemed to like it, even though it tasted kind of bland to me. But I guess they seasoned it on their own. You know, it's hard cooking for people who have like diabetes and high blood pressure, and like it's hard cooking for those folks, man. They're very sensitive to things like salt. Top dog, happy Thanksgiving, my friend. Um, WG Phil says he wished he baked earlier though, but the oven was full. Yeah, that's why, I guess you were trying to make it really fresh because you could have just made it yesterday, which is what most people tend to do. Is they actually do most of the cooking the day before Thanksgiving. That's the trick. Is you don't really want to cook the day of. But when it comes to me and Thanksgiving, typically I have the traditional turkey and dressing and yams and all that. I'll eat that the day of, but I will probably won't touch that stuff again. I may eat the dressing again because I still do like dressing. I still do kind of like macaroni and cheese, but there's that turkey. I'm done with that. I'm done with that for the year. I really didn't need turkey, if we're being honest. So I'm gonna probably fry some chicken wings tomorrow to go with the macaroni and cheese and the dressing and everything. But that turkey was oof boy. That's also probably gonna be the only day I really like stuff myself because I was pretty down bad the last 4 or 5 days because of my back. Like I don't know what happened to my back. It was like I don't know if it was gas from the chili, if I hurt myself, I didn't know it, or if I had a chest cold. And I tried pretty much a remedy for everything, and I ended up feeling okay in the middle of the day today, where yesterday I could barely move. So I don't know what fixed it. I don't know what the problem was. Um, I thought maybe it was the way that I slept. It wasn't that. Uh, so I don't know what it was, but I feel limba today. I feel good. I feel better, and it helps that today was actually eating day, as I call it. You know, so I watched Survivor Series 1987 earlier this morning. Um, just I love watching Survivor Series, and the interesting bit about that is shortly after I watched that show, I went on Twitter and Lalani Kai was talking about how people watch football on Thanksgiving while she watches old Survivor Series, and I wanted to tweet at her. I literally just saw you at Survivor Series '87. She was in the women's Survivor Series match. So that was very cool, you know. But man, that show, whew, it felt like it was in the Bronze Age. It is almost 40 years old. Man, it was an interesting show, that's for sure. It was fun though. It was a fun show. So everybody should be ready to fire up your mayhem. It is 5 minutes after. We're gonna go another 10 to 20 seconds to get everybody a chance, and then we're going to push play together. For those of you who are confused, Mayhem is the WCW pay-per-view. If you put in Mayhem and the Peacock, it has DDP, Sting, Hogan, and Goldberg in the front. Top Dog says he's going to pick up a quarter of a cow tomorrow from the butcher shop. Oh my goodness. What you going to do with it? X9, sup pimp, happy Thanksgiving. All right, at 6 minutes on the dot, we will be starting up the watch along. So that's 20 seconds from now. I'm thinking about how I'm going to order a bunch of stuff off of either Amazon or in-stock trades for Black Friday. But we'll talk about that as we go along. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, press play. Okay. So as far as I know, this is a Vince Russo pay-per-view. So Vince Russo booked this show, and you can tell just by looking at it that Vince Russo booked this show. So Sting has been stripped of the championship for attacking the referee, and now there's a tournament. All right, I'm uncomfortable already. I can just sit in my chair. My chair is kind of low. That was a problem, but I'm gonna sit in the chair anyway. So they're doing a video package to catch you up on what the storylines are. I mean, AEW could learn a lot from this. Unfortunately, you can't tell them nothing. They don't want to learn anywhere. Kurt Hennig fighting for his career? Why is that? Why were they having a cage match? Oh my God. Oh my Lord. Why is Brian Knobbs in this tournament? Oh, Bret Hart and Perry Saturn. That sounds fun. Kidman? I'm saying, like, how are you going to cook it, Top Dog? I know you're going to cook it. I mean you're going to treat it like a chandelier. Clearly you was going to cook it, but like what you going to do? Like, how you going to perform the task? Wait, Benoit wrestled Medusa? Lash LaRue? Oh shit, he hit Ming right in the head with that damn thing. Now Bret Hart and Kidman sounds fun. That sounds like that would have been fun. Jeff Jarrett and Buck Bagwell sounds like diarrhea. Why in the world would you ever book that match? Benoit and Scott Hall sounds fun. Oh my word. X9 says Bash at the Beach 2000 is one of his favorite clusterfucks ever. A lot of people like that show because it's very controversial. I don't like Vince Russo booking. I just think that some things don't get a lot of time to develop, and he likes to swerve for the sake of swerve. But I wanted to watch something that wasn't too old, you know. Like this show was 25 years old, thereabouts. That's a long time, man. But I wanted to watch like Survivor Series from the 90s or something. But I decided not to. I'm the one with all the stroke around here. I gotta tell you, that's gotta be the shittiest gimmick of all time, bro. I absolutely cannot stand the Chosen One gimmick. It's the shit. Oh, it's in Canada. Oh, that's great. Well, you have Top Dog know that he knows every single way that you can cook a side of beef. I'm going to grill it, fry it, soak it. Like I meant specifically, like what kind of meal are you going to make with it? Hey, it's Bobby Heenan. How you doing, sir? I do want to see Book. I do want to see Bret Hart versus Kidman. I might look that match up on YouTube. Well, we already know who won this tournament, right? So no need to go into spoilers there. But the rest of the show, I have no idea what's going on. The Chosen One is such a stupid gimmick. It's a stupid gimmick for Jeff Jarrett because chosen by who? It works for Drew McIntyre because at least we know who chose him, and that person is an authority figure. It's like Jeff Jarrett is the chosen one. Chosen by who? Exactly. And how much authority does this person who chose you have? I will say Tony Schiavone looks very professional here. Like you said, it comes with a whole bunch of ground beef and a bunch of different steaks. And I haven't had a steak in forever. I honestly, I don't even make steak, to be quite honest. I haven't had a steak in forever. But ground beef, hell yeah. Ground beef is, that's hamburgers. That's sloppy Joe. I made sloppy Joe yesterday with turkey meat, though. It should knock me unconscious. That and what did I eat with that? Like I use carrots as a French fry substitute. So yeah, that put me on my back. Well, last time I had French fries like 2 days ago though. He was chosen by Vince Russo. Yeah, right. This sounds like dubbed music. Who is this? 12 matches? Oh, these motherfuckers about to be 3 minutes apiece. How long is this show? 2 hours and 53 minutes? Yeah, 12 matches, 2 hours and 53 minutes. Some of these matches gonna be 90 seconds. It took a long time to get to the ring for a show built around a tournament. Hey, you know what? I told y'all Vince Russo just does the same thing over and over again. This is just a Deadly Game tournament, right? Remember when he did he was one of the head writers of when they did the Deadly Game in '98 with Rock and Austin, right? He just does the same thing over and over again. I mean, not Rock and Austin, but Rock and Mankind. I tell you, that boy a one-trick pony. It worked once. I could do it again. Jeff Jarrett versus Chris Benoit. Man, have I ever seen these two guys wrestle before? I'm not sure I've ever seen these two guys wrestle before, so this ought to be interesting. I feel like Jeff Jarrett got his push late. Like, I think 98, 99, Jarrett was kind of passe. He was kind of like a early 90s, mid 90s. He could have been a main event guy. But by 98, people who were like Jeff Jarrett were kind of like over the hill. Oh, Benoit matches. Oh boy. Two of them things at that. Two of them things. I don't cringe watching Chris Benoit though. I know a lot of people do, but I don't. That's definitely one of those. Well, normally I would say separate the art from the artist, but Benoit, when he killed his own son, is absolutely reprehensible. It must be noted. Absolutely. I love you, Solo. Top Dog says, speaking of Austin, I find it funny how people let Stone Cold off the hook for going over people he shouldn't. but bark at Hogan for doing the same thing. Not only that, he actually walked away because he didn't want to do a job. Believe it that. Believe if Roman Reigns walked off because he didn't want to do a job, people would have acted a fool. Who did he think he is? It's amazing how they let. I mean, that's just plain old bias, though. If Hogan refused to do a job to somebody, he's awful. If Shawn Michaels refused to do a job for somebody, he's a shithead and a cokehead and all this kind of stuff. When Steve Austin don't want to do a job, though, oh, there's no problem with that. You know, no issue. Ain't no problem with that. I don't even have a problem with him walking out, to be quite honest. I mean, he did what he thought he had to do at the time. Benoit lands on the back of his head and neck when he does the top rope superplex. Has Jarrett had any offense in this match yet? Yikes. That chop barely touched him and he flopped. That was great. Oh. This was not the era to be a work rate guy, that's for sure. They weren't giving you time to work at all. At least they work with a little bit of a crisper pace. The crazy thing is I like Jeff Jarrett now more than I've ever liked Jeff Jarrett before. I didn't really like him. I liked his gimmick in the WWF. Well, he's like the updated version of the Honky Tonk Man. I love that character. And I thought he would have been a great foil for like Bret Hart or Shawn Michaels in terms of a main event guy. When they were low on top guys, he could have been great. But just a few years later, he would have been out of place in the main event. Stone Cold beat Kane clean with one stunner. It took Undertaker 3 tombstones. Yeah, he beat Big Show. Like Big Show's in the company like 2 weeks, and and Austin had already beat him. Austin Big Show debuted in St. Valentine's Day Massacre, which was February of 1999, and Austin beat him like a week or two later. Pinned him right in the middle of the ring. And you just kind of like, you could say they didn't take him seriously. But I've already said my piece when it comes to Steve Austin. When Undertaker and Kane together couldn't beat him, I was done with that. That conversation was over for me. They were in Calgary Hitman jerseys in the front row here. Benoit. Wait a minute. Did Vince Russo book this show? No, he came in October of '99. I think he walked out yet? I'm not sure. I don't think he had walked out yet. I know he walked out for a short time and then he came back. X9 says this pay-per-view is better than whatever SmackDown is going to be tomorrow. Is this SmackDown already taped? I think SmackDown is already taped. Top Dog says you think Heyman is turning on Roman at Survivor Series? No, I don't think so. I don't really see how it would benefit the story for Heyman to turn right now. He might turn on him later, but I don't think it's going to be Survivor Series because he'd have to turn on Punk too, because Punk is the one who is fighting on Paul Heyman's behalf. Unless Punk is going to help Paul turn on Roman. I thought SmackDown was already taped though. I actually timed the Q&A to happen before SmackDown so that we can get it in, get it done, and then I can go and do watch SmackDown. I don't know if I gave myself enough time though. I think I did. I hate these taped SmackDowns though. These taped SmackDown, these taped Raws, they're the shits. They're very bland shows. Nothing happens on these shows. Whoa. That was kind of an ugly backbreaker. Benoit just chopping the shit out of Jeff Jarrett, man. The conditioning of these guys is incredible because Benoit has not taken a breath yet. Benoit goes a mile a minute, bro. What's up with Canada and hockey? Oh, here comes as Marky D calls them, the Nazi twins. Creative control. These two cue ball bastards. They're like the cone heads. Has two people with less talent become so, well, I won't even say over, but instrumental in pro wrestling? Because they were very instrumental in TNA as well. Two very untalented men. And again, it's the same thing he did in WWE. Remember when they paired Jeff Jarrett up with the Godwins? What they call themselves? Southern Justice? Isn't it the same damn thing? Oh, Vince Russo. We're going to rebrand the Godwins as Southern Justice, which I guess is better than the Godwins, but that was a nice crossbody there. They're having a pretty good match here between these two guys. It's hard to have a bad match with Chris Benoit, though. X9 says, when I typed in WWE on Netflix past week, he had 2001 content, some old DVDs, and for some reason, TNA content. TNA? That's interesting. What's that about? Right in front of the referee. Patrick or Gerald? Patrick or Gerald? That is the names you have for these guys? Now, why is Dustin? He was here? What's all this interference about? Wow, Dustin cannot fight. Dustin, you can't fight. What are you doing? What is going on? They had Bound for Glory and Best of 07. Interesting. What is this? Oh, shit. The referee see the guitar pieces in the ring and everything. He's counted anyway. There's people everywhere. I will say it was at least a respectable finish, a sensible finish, featuring very untalented people, these Harris twins. Jarrett busted open. That's great. Oh, he used the. Why didn't they just get in the ring? Why'd they go around? Who's that guy in the green shirt? I forgot what his name is. It's right on the tip of my tongue, but I forgot what his name is. Top Dog says you are a hardcore rap fan. What was your thoughts on both the late 2000s Soldier Boy and late 2010 SoundCloud rap eras? Two eras a lot of people hate. Uh, the Fruity Loops era of Soldier Boy. I didn't mind Soldier Boy. Not that I was a fan, but it was for kids. You know, it was for young people. So I didn't really mind that too much. In terms of the SoundCloud rap era, it just made it. It was able to go around the gatekeepers, which was good because people could put their music on SoundCloud and they didn't need a record label. The bad thing is it just made everybody become a rapper. Oh shit! Just going front just got his ass kicked for no reason. Who is this guy with this slick in the front of his head? What in the world? Misfits. Who is this guy? Okay. Anyway, it allowed it to. It was the same thing as Dat Piff. It just gave an outlet to people who were untalented to dump a bunch of shit onto the internet. But in my opinion, that's better than the gatekeepers telling you what you should and shouldn't like. You finding stuff on your own to like because everybody can put something on SoundCloud, that's fine. Look at Medusa. Yikes. How old was she here? My lord. She been wrestling since the 80s, and here she is in 1999 with some young thing. She's an old lady. He's in love with her. X9 says one of the worst AEW matches ever was Sammy and Dustin. I don't even remember that match, but it involved Sammy Guevara, so I'm going to assume that you have a good point. Top Dog says you listen to any songs from guys like Juice WRLD, XX Tentacion. I think they were the best of the SoundCloud. I never listened to any of that stuff. I never listened to any of those guys. I think when that XX guy got murdered, I listened to one song because a bunch of kids were emoting about it. And I was like, well, I guess I can give him a try. I mean, I always do that when a rapper gets killed, like or Camouflage got killed. I listened to, I think they had a mixtape on Dat Piff or something like that that I listened to. Same thing happened when Dollar got killed. When Stacked Bundles, I finally started paying attention to him when he got killed. The fans start coming out of the woodwork and posting their favorite stuff, and you're like, okay, I'll give it a try. And then sometimes you realize why you did listen to him in the first place. Marinara. They got an Italian guy by the name of Marinara. That's crazy. That's insane. Tony Marinara. Who is that? Tony Mar. You talk about racism, bro. Oh, he a super stereotype. Oh my God. What a stereotype. Where is Disco originally from? Is it New York? Because it seemed like they put him with this guy to play up the Italian thing. Tony Marinara. Whatever happened to Evan Courageous? Did he ever make it to TNA? I don't remember seeing him there. I think he made it to TNA eventually. He probably didn't have a long run. Oh shit. Tony Marinara. Why would you be scared of Tony Marinara? Can somebody explain to me why I would be scared of this dweeb, this dork? Did you see a picture? Did you guys see that shot of Tony Marinara? He has no chin. He looks like an Italian Jerry Seinfeld. Disco could probably break him in half. He must got like mob ties or something. Is that what you're trying to say here with this character? That he's an Italian mobster? Oh, wait a minute. Is Medusa making eyes at Disco? Oh. Well, this is an odd thing because Disco is a babyface, which almost never happens. It's one of the few times I've seen Disco Inferno as a babyface. Then again, I'm not really steeped in WCW lore. He got a what, man? Get this motherfucker off this microphone, please. Oh yeah, it's absolutely a Vince Russo show. A bunch of stereotypes. Yeah, it's Vince Russo. I never hated Disco. I thought Disco was a pretty decent wrestler. I certainly don't think he was a main event guy, but I think he was okay. X9 was more scared of Plumber Moxie's smell. I think he should be more concerned about his dental work. This Tony Marinara. He's got the physiognomy of a guy who is not tough whatsoever. Is Macho Man on this card? Look, I think Macho Man was busted by this point in time. He might have still been wrestling, but I don't know if he's in a major spot. Oh my God! Please get rid of this guy. He feels like he's acting, and acting badly. I'm gonna Google Tony Marinara. I swear to God. As soon as this show is up, I'm gonna write that down. Google Tony Marinara. I need to know what's going on with this guy. It's clearly Vince Russo's thing because he loves ancillary characters. Like Mike Sanders, and a bunch of other people like that. X9 said, "What is a pay-per-view everyone hates but I like?" You said you like WrestleMania 9? Oh my God, you're a saint. I mean, 9 and 11 are objectively the worst WrestleManias. Even if you have a forgettable WrestleMania, like most of the most recent ones, like everything from 31 to like 36 have been pretty forgettable in terms of WrestleManias. But 9 and 11 stand out as being objectively bad stuff. You know, but what's a show that everybody hates that I like? That's a good question. I'll have to think about that because I don't. It's hard for me to answer that question because I don't know what the internet likes. And typically, if they like something, it's at least okay. It's just not as great as they would lead you to believe. Except with the exception of like Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano. That was the shits. You laugh at the end of WrestleMania 9? Huh? I wish that some of the stuff that happened on that show had not happened though. Oh, the crowd was chanting boring. Oh my God. They're chanting boring. Oh my goodness. Disco having a long match, I can understand why people might not be interested in that. They also have seemed to move away from the story, which is Disco got beat up before this. So now he's all okay and he's super cocky and he's flirting with Medusa, who's got her tits out, you know. Yeah. Oh, she smacked him. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. WG Phil says people hold Mania 33 to a high regard due to the Hardys returning. As far as I know, that's the only thing people really rave about WrestleMania 33. But I can say that everything from 31 to 36 has been pretty mid. They haven't been great. I mean, you can give them a pass on 36 because it was a pandemic. So you can give them a pass on that. And I think 37 was fun, 38 was fun, and 40 was fun. You know, well, they were okay at the very least. Oh shit! He just wrecked Tony Marinara. He just wrecked Tony Marinara. That was great. He's a skinny punk kid. Disco should be able to do that with his bare hands. Oh, oh wow! A springboard crossbody. That's the finish. It took him that long to beat Disco Inferno, and Disco had gotten beat up before this match. X9 hates WrestleMania 32. 32 is the play button, right? And I think that's part of the reason why it's hard to remember what's going on these shows. No, that was 31. That was the play button. 32 was Dallas, I think, because they took all the Roman numerals off the pay-per-views for a long time, and so it just became WrestleMania, and you have to guess which one. So the return of numbers is great. Bret Hart would be drinking coffee at night. Worst kinds of people drinking coffee at night. Oh yeah, there's Vince Russo right there. He's off camera. And Jeff Jarrett is the star of the show, apparently, because this is the fourth Jeff Jarrett segment. Norman Smiley. Top Dog says, honestly, rewatching some Hogan promos from '93, he kind of sounded more heelish. I don't know. Maybe I don't remember him that well. Maybe if I go back and look at him, I'll agree with you. But I don't remember a lot of his promos from that era. I like Julie. I think she's very good. I think she's very good. I thoroughly enjoy Julia. This dub music is the shit. Happy Thanksgiving, Virgo Penguin. How you doing? Kalani Jordan is really good too. So got to give her some credit for her matches. I'm not really a big Nasty Boys guy. So Brian Knobs being here is not really my favorite. And Brian Knobs versus Norman Smiley, I'm not a fan of that. Oh my goodness. his top dog says Hogan in '93 seemed off. It's like he didn't fit in. He didn't. They were moving away from him, and he was holding on for everything he was worth. They had pretty much moved on once they went to Brett. They was kind of trying to move on, and Hogan was still trying to be 1985, 1986 Hulk Hogan. Well, let me tell you something, brother. He can't put a mask on. There we go. Regular Penguin, you're feeling better. That's good. I'm actually feeling a little bit better myself. My back was down bad for a couple of days, but I'm actually feeling a little bit better today. I'm not nearly as uncomfortable as I have been, so I can't complain whatsoever. Or maybe I just needed to get some sleep, or maybe it wasn't sleep at all. Maybe it was something else. I don't know what was wrong, so I don't know what fixed it. So I took a Mucinex, but I don't know if that did it. I stretched a lot, but I don't know if that did it. Is his gimmick that he's gonna scream this whole time? Because this is annoying as fuck already. What you mean no screaming in wrestling? Wrestling is like 86% screaming. The pads on the legs is great. He been hitting the pads the entire time, except for getting hit in the head a couple of times. Top Dog said the same thing with Stone Cold to a lesser degree. Seeing him wrestle on Raw under the WWE name and Ruthless Aggression era Raw arena feel off. It's always weird seeing guys out of, like, I guess you could say context, because they become synonymous with a certain era, but thankfully Undertaker hasn't been that way, but maybe it would be today. But a lot of those guys, the era was defined around them, and so when they're in a different context where the era is surrounding somebody else, it does seem off. Like when Hogan was wrestling in the Ruthless Aggression era, that was so weird. Him wrestling Triple H and him wrestling Kurt Angle and him wrestling Brock, and all that stuff was weird. Very weird stuff. This sucks. How did anybody even like these hardcore matches? Most of these things are just a waste of time. I don't know. I think Cena still fits because the WWE is still squeaky clean as it was before. It's still the same presentation for the most part. It hasn't completely changed yet. Like, it's changed enough where he feels nostalgic, but it hasn't changed so much like he feels like a dinosaur in the company. And I think a lot of that is because some of his peers are still there. Like Randy Orton is still there, and Punk is there now. I think if it was a whole new cast of guys and Cena just looked really old, then maybe that would be an issue. But when you got a bunch of Cena with his bald spot, he fits in just fine because damn near everybody in the main event today got a bald spot or gray hair. Almost everybody looks old, you know? I mean, all these guys look old now. Kevin Owens look older than Cena. Hell, CM Punk look older than Cena. CM Punk looks fucking elderly, man. And so do Kevin Owens. Just staggering amount of gray hair that these guys have today. AJ3, happy Thanksgiving, my friend. Oh my God. Is this match ever going to end? They said they was going to do tournament matches. Why they didn't do the first 2 tournament matches and then go into all this shenanigans before the main event? Oh my God. Shivani talking about how fun this is. It's boring. These guys are just hitting each other with crap for no reason. There's no real reason for any of this. And it's going on forever. But speaking of dinosaurs, fucking Nasty Boys are still around. It's 99 and the Nasty Boys are still wrestling. Well, Knobs is still wrestling. I don't know. I haven't seen Sags. Knobs is a Hogan guy. So not a surprise that he's still there. Top Dog says seeing Sean wrestle full time on Raw in 2010 still feel unreal. Yeah, I mean, I think especially when you consider that in today's world, top guys don't even really wrestle on TV that much. To have Shawn Michaels wrestling matches on Raw is kind of crazy. They probably could have prolonged his career by a few more years if they took him off TV. If he'd had a schedule like Roman and fucking Gunther and these guys who don't wrestle on TV at all, he might still be wrestling today. Shit. Oh, Sax is on drugs and DUI. Yeah, that explains it. That also explains why his shirt says nasty and not nasty boys. Now, wait a second. Oh, shit. He just hit Knobs in the head. Are you serious? Oh, my. That was the finish? Oh my word. He won and got beat up after the match. Jesus, have mercy. HBK versus Ridge. They gonna have Eddie Thorpe sacrifice Shawn Michaels to some kind of wolf god or something like that, trying to get that guy over, and it ain't gonna work. WG Phil says, I think Shawn's retirement was a personal choice rather than injury. I agree, but he was getting up there in age. But I think that if he didn't have to travel every week, he probably would have felt better staying around, even though he was getting older at the time. You notice that wrestling once or twice a year prolonged Undertaker's career, because he probably should have retired in like 2010. But then that limited schedule really helped. That limited schedule dragged his ass another 10 years, even though that was probably shouldn't have. He says D says Ciampa looks 50, but he's 39. He looks elderly. Like, I don't even understand. Like, these guys, they lived hard lives, man. They must live like sailors or something. Okay, what is this about? Tori Wilson joining the LWO? Oh no, Rey Mysterio with no mask. What is that? Who is this gigantic muscular woman? Hey, did I tell you that Vince Russo just does the same shit over and over again? So he brought in his own version of China to WCW. How about that? Who is this woman? Why are they murdering Ray? What's happening here? Her name is Asia. Oh my lord. Damn, Vince Russo has no creativity. The revolution. What are they revoluting against? They're the revolution of what? They're revolting against what? This is the most words I've ever heard Dean Malenko say in a promo. That was amazing. That was amazing. Eddie with this camera. Oh my word. What is going on here? Man, goddamn, Kidman ain't got no personality. Is Eddie stoned? Is he trying to get stoned? What is he doing over there? Tony Marinara in the Disco Inferno. Tony Marinara is bringing the boys, and Disco is scared. And this dude, is that 2x4 that Jeff Jarrett has walking around with? I don't get this. Okay, let's just move on, man. Just move on. Top Dog has always kind of like transitional eras in wrestling, like '96 and '97. For example, the hybrid of New Gen and Attitude was pretty cool looking back, like Gorilla Monsoon under the Raw in War Arena. I agree. Those are interesting times, that's for sure. Is this Asia with Shane Douglas? Because I keep hearing about how Triple H stole Shane Douglas's gimmick. So is that what we're doing here? Is now we decide we're going to put the big muscular woman with Shane Douglas? And even though every time I've seen people say that, the only thing they can say is Triple H wore the same hat that Shane Douglas wore. Shane Douglas wore a hat that Triple H wore. Get the fuck out of here. I would imagine you have to be a little bit more specific than that. They're revolting against the booking of WCW. It's like they're following it to me. They were rebelling against the old guard of WCW. All right. They just got Asia standing there looking dumb. She's just standing there because Tori didn't get in the ring. And then she got jumped by the two guys. What the hell was going on here? She looks so lost. Oh, that poor baby. She's like, what should I do? Holy hell. X9 said Tony should bring the boom to get over with the kids, Maggle. I love JBL when he was on commentary. It would have been great. Triple H has always hated young guys for some reason. I don't understand. It's a recurring thing with Triple H is that he's always been against most of the young talent. Even going back to like him being against Edge, him not wanting Cena to get a spot, him being against Orton, even though Orton was in his faction. You know, just weird stuff. NXT was the only time he was really trying to push young guys, but even eventually NXT became all old dudes. AJ3 says a thoroughly miserable experience. Russo manages to kill what was a hot crowd in the record time. Why is guys jumping on their own partners? I thought that shit started in this generation. They was doing it back then too. Top Dog said he's surprised WCW didn't have their own version of DX. That's what it sounded like the Revolution was supposed to be. Did that dude just poke Malenko with that flag? Oh my god. Okay. Asia's got Tori. Tori is a social distancing away from Asia. And Tori has dropped Asia. And she got her down with the hair mare. Well, not even a hair mare. This is the worst cat fight in the history of cat fights. Asia is she's so muscular. Holy shit! She's so muscular she can't even move. He said the Misfits in action was WCW's attempt at DX. You think so? With the goofy names like Major Jugs? And I guess that's why. I guess that would be the reason for it, right? It's all sex jokes. General Rectum. Major Guns. Damn, they lost already? So now Kidman and Eddie are mad at each other. I don't even remember what happened. I looked away. You know what? I don't even care. Let's just get through this. Why is Kidman still dressed like he was a member of oh shit. Like he a member of the flock. Raven long gone by this time, brother. I'm pretty sure he went back to ECW around this time. Wait, this elimination. Top Dog says it's just that how guys like Gargano was viewed more favorably than Ron Breaker and Triple H. Yeah. It's going to have to get egregious before some people see it. But most people are not paying attention right now. AJ3 says Triple H had a scattered brain when he ran NXT. Probably took from a game show to developmental. But then when the third sheet got in his ear, I'm signing burned out Ring of Honor guys instead. Yeah, that was so unfortunate, wasn't it? Eddie's a pro posting for this suplex. And the crowd are into it. Because the man just got suplexed by a woman. So Eddie is in this match by himself, from what it looks like. Because Kidman has been eliminated. But I didn't know this match was elimination. 1, 2. Okay. Nice. Oh, that was a nice hurricanrana there. 2. Oh, then the link goes out. Okay. Said Triple H manages to do the bare minimum and yet still gets praise. He really doesn't get it. Well, it's all going to be temporary. He's going to fuck up something within the next year or so, I would imagine. And then people are going to be very upset with him. And then he won't be able to do anything right. Kind of like what's going on with Tony Khan right now. I can't believe I can't believe this Asia thing. This thing is twisting my wig. Like I feel like I knew about this, but I've never seen as much of this person as I probably saw like somebody talk about it in a clip or something. My WCW lore from '98 forward is pretty bad, but this Asia thing is blowing my wig. Oh, Saturn just booted the shit out of her. That's crazy. So, oh, she laying flat. She about to take the. Somebody told her how to take this frog splash, and she's going to do it exactly as she was told. And Eddie barely touched her. There we go. 1, 2, and 3. A heroic performance here by Eddie. 1, 2. Oh, okay. Let's go, Eddie. Let's go, Eddie. X9 says Adam Copeland told me AEW is fun though. So fun, like fun. Very fun. Super fun. Well, it's fun for him because he gets paid a lot of money to work 1 day a week. For everybody else, though, there's misery. There's some miserable people here. Very miserable people. WG Phil says, any reason why Conan didn't get a second chance? That's a good question. I think it's because he went to work for TNA. And after WCW, like a lot of the WCW guys, if Vince didn't pick them up, they ended up in TNA. And I think it was also because Conan did that racial lawsuit against WCW. That was kind of bullshit. But I mean, at that point in time, I don't know what he was. I guess outside of doing his regular character, but that would be a question to ask Conan. I wonder what that would be. What would be the answer to that question? I don't think I've ever heard him talk about it. Top Dog says Triple H has been created for 2 years, still hasn't created one star. He had Sami Zayn go over Braun. He buried Theory for cash in. He could probably do the same with Tiffany. Yeah, I'm not sure he's gonna do that with Tiffany, but he's not building her up as much as he is just keeping her around. She's in the shot, I guess. But he hasn't he hasn't done much to elevate her. She doesn't even wrestle really, or cut promos or do character stuff or anything. When you look at the focus she got in NXT versus the focus she gets now, it's nothing. Ooh, wonderful. Death Valley Driver by Perry Saturn. Is it 3? No, it wasn't well, it was kind of a slow count. Kind of. Saturn's a hell of a performer, man. It's just unfortunate he got to WWE. He could only get over by talking to a mop, which was ludicrous. And it was the kind of crazy shit they used to get over in wrestling back in the day. That still gets over today, to be quite honest. If a guy just started talking to a mop on Rampage, he'd probably be the most over guy by Dynamite. Why would Eddie tag in Tori? What would be the purpose in that? Why would he even consider tagging in Tori? She ain't done shit so far. And I thought that was the point, is that they didn't want her involved with this. So it was basically a glorified handicap match. Missile drop kick? Oh no. Crossbody. What was that? Oh, it countered into the rings of Saturn. Tori, now is your chance to do something. Oh shit. Oh, Eddie gave up. Tori is still in the match. Oh my word. She's the only one left. I'm not gonna lie, this is actually entertaining. I'm interested in what they're gonna do here. Now she has to get in the ring. Common sense would just tell her to get counted out. That would be common sense. Is Eddie really gonna leave and just leave her out there? Oh no! That's a low right in front of the ref. She did. She hit him right in the nuts, right in front of the referee. Oh, he hit her in the crotch. He hit her in the crotch. That was insane. That was insane. So we don't get any kind of, we don't get to take a second to appreciate what we just saw. We just go immediately to Buff Bagwell getting his shit kicked in. That's the 5th Jeff Jarrett, or maybe 6th Jeff Jarrett segment, by the way. The whole lot of Jeff Jarrett on this show. X9 says he hasn't seen NXT in a month. Where's Oba Femi? He lost to Tony D'Angelo. He's been gone since. So I don't know where he is. Hopefully we can bring him back soon. Top Dog sad thing is that all the IW shills was defending Triple H for having Brian job clean for Sammy after he was destroying people left and right. Yeah, that's like they made a bunch of excuses to why the whole thing with Austin Theory was good. They just don't care. They think this is smart shit. Hey, it's Mr. Perfect. He's kind of big. Not as big as he would get, though. Oh shit. I'm very confused about what they're showing me here. Oh, they're showing his this is a tournament match. Okay. I'm very confused. No, this has got some. This is something else. It's not the tournament. What is this? So they're doing a thing where if he gets pinned, he has to retire. So they have him submitting and losing by count out and all this kind of dumb shit. That's a stupid storyline, man. He tapped out to a Bill Goldberg leg lock. How targeted is that? Now he's got to suffer the humiliation of wrestling Buff Bagwell. Top Dog says this whole Liv and Rhea storyline makes no sense. How is Rhea the face in this situation? She did a lot of bad things to Liv, and she was the one that got Dom to turn on his family. Well, while all of that is true, this is the 7th time I've seen Jeff Jarrett on television. Anyway, while that is true, we just talked about if you're over, you can do whatever you want. Rhea Ripley's more over, so she can do whatever she wants. But Liv Morgan's also been pretty dastardly in her own right in this situation. So it's basically two scumbags going at each other. But mostly Liv is a heel because of Dominic. Dominic is the most hated person on planet Earth at this point in time. His career is on the line. Holy hell. Why would you do this with Mr. Perfect? Have Mr. Perfect here. You could definitely have him in your world championship tournament, could have been very fun. You know, instead of Jeff fucking Jarrett. But hey, it's fine. Henning's significantly older than Jarrett, so it's fine. But him having to waste his talents on Buff Bagwell of all people. And since I know Buff is getting pushed here because Vince Russo liked Buff Bagwell, this is hopefully this doesn't go the way that I think it's going to go. And they chanted perfect, which is great. The oddball thing is from that video package, I couldn't tell if Perfect was a heel or a babyface. I'm very confused. Why are they fighting for their careers? Why is this happening? I get that that's what's happening. I just want to know why. Top Dog says the only good about WWE is the hot chicks in NXT. But even then, Triple H is trying to ruin it by bringing in She-Hulks like Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace is a mutant. And you know what? I just realized, because I just found out, that chick has been on TV like 10 years, and she's still not 30 yet. She's only 28. He just kicked the guy in the nuts right in front of the referee. Is that not illegal in WCW? Come on, guy. I don't understand this. I'm very confused. You can kick people in the nuts in front of the referee. I don't get it. My Buff Bagwell is the second person that has been beat up before his match. And he's still managing to hold himself in there against a very capable opponent. This is not, Evan Courageous. He's not Evan Courageous tier. He's just a little bit aged Kurt Hennig. He's not what he once was, but he's still a far cry better than Buff Bagwell. What's this about Bagwell being a male dancer? What is Bobby Heenan talking about? Do I need to know? He's still chanting perfect. That's great. Keep that up. We're talking about Mr. Perfect, who injured his back in 1992 and basically was on the shelf for a really long time. So here it is in 1999. He's still going. Of course, he's a shell of himself. He's not with the Mr. Perfect of 1991 or 1990. But for a guy who injured his back severely, pretty badly in 92 and barely made it through 93, but he's doing okay. You know, WG Field says, I really hope the Hall of Fames don't end up an indie glory fest because Mania 40 Hall of Fame class was lackluster. And no offense to the inductees, but their Hall of Fame needed more. I think Triple H is going to throw some people in the Hall of Fame that Vince drug his feet on, like the Glamour Girls and Cyndi Lauper, who should already be in, if we're being honest. Like the Glamour Girls and the Jumping Bomb Angels, they should all be in the Hall of Fame already. You know, but Bull Nakano is a good entry. I forgot who was in the Hall of Fame last year, if we're being honest. D says he can see Triple H pushing Julia to the moon when she gets called up. Well, he's gonna need a replacement Oscar, and she seems to fit the bill. She's not as silly as Oscar. At least not yet, anyway. But I like Julia. I hope Julia does get pushed to the moon. She's young. I'm pretty sure she's younger than Kyrie and Io. She's going to have a lot of opportunities in the WWE. I think Vince would have liked Julia, too. I'm not sure Vince would have been thrilled about Stephanie Baker, though. He says, top dog, I still don't know how Cyndi Lauper isn't in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, I don't understand how they couldn't have made that call by now. That should have been done a long time ago. She was part of the rock and wrestling thing. She should have been in, especially when they put Wendy Richter in. They didn't put her in. I'm like, what the hell was the point? You put in celebrities like Andy Kaufman, and Kaufman didn't even do anything in the WWF. He worked in Memphis. I mean, it's still a worthy Hall of Fame induction, but at least get the people who helped your company. How Mr. T is in there and Cyndi Lauper is. No. AJ3 says Kurt was in a real tough time. Most recently, his best friend Rick Ruby died around this year, so he was left with no. Yeah, Rick Rude did die. And he says with no motivation and just drowned in mediocrity in WCW. Yeah, Rick Rude did die in '99, didn't he? Those two dudes are very close. It's sad like that in wrestling, isn't it? It was even sadder because Rude couldn't wrestle anymore. They were tight. I like Julia. I like she got aura, as the kids say. With the Latin demo, I could see that. I could see Vince probably trying to find something for her. Her English is not great. Probably would have put Zelina with her. Zelina don't speak Spanish though, so please don't tell me he's doing jobs. Oh no! He doing clean jobs to Buff Bagwell. Oh, with a Buff blockbuster. Oh no! You thought Baron Corbin beating Kurt Angle was bad? Buff Bagwell just retired Kurt Hennig. I'm pretty sure this is not clearly this is not his retirement because he wrestled in WWF, TNA, and the XWF after this. So I'm pretty sure this wasn't even his last match in WCW. But technically, Hennig lost his career to Buff Bagwell, which is extremely disrespectful. Extremely disrespectful. And look at this. Look at this ovation. This is what it should have been all the time. People have no appreciation for what you've been looking at because his positioning. He is the number one guy when it comes to when you talk about people's position, meaning dictating their push and how people are perceiving them. Mr. Perfect is number one. My God. Oh, so Brett about to wrestle Sting? They should have been on first. They have to put over Jarrett. So much Jarrett. Top Dog says Julia Chick is the only attractive chick Triple H has signed. That Zarya chick is a monster, bro. She's a monster. She doesn't look too bad without the makeup. But she's very vocal. And he gonna love Zarya for obvious reasons. Yeah, she's big. She's a big girl. She's athletic. If she's got even an inkling of a personality, she's gonna do well. He said Rude tried returning to the ring in 1999, if he didn't die. I'm pretty sure he did. He would have. Those guys, he probably tried working the insurance gimmick, which they all do eventually. So many of them do I'm not going to wrestle because I hurt my back, so I'm going to get my Lords of London. And then they end up back in the ring. It's one of the oldest running gimmicks that wrestlers used to pull on insurance companies. Oh, my back, I can't wrestle. 6 months later, they're back in the ring. I remember being underwhelmed by every Bret Hart and Sting match I've ever seen. So I'm trying to remember if I've seen this one before. I'm pretty sure I have. Like, I'm pretty sure I watched this event before. I watched all WCW events before. It's just I don't remember them. I've watched the entire WCW pay-per-view library since I've had the network. But some of these shows I don't remember at all. So. Loves me some Sting, loves me some Hitman, so this is going to be fine. Need this to wash that shit I just saw out of my face. Kurt Hennig just lost his career to Buff Bagwell. Bro, what the fuck? Somebody fire Vince Russo. Fire Russo, bro. He thought he was being jobbed by from. Oh my lord. They had Bret wrestle everybody in WCW. He wrestled Goldberg, he wrestled Hogan, he wrestled Macho Man, and none of those matches were memorable. Think about that for a second. Bret Hart had all the quote unquote dream matches you could possibly have with WCW guys. He wrestled Luger, Sting, Hollywood, Hogan, Randy Savage, and none of these matches are memorable. None of them. The Diamond Dallas Page matches were okay, but none of these matches were memorable. Sting is out there in a t-shirt. Oh my lord. Oh my god. AJ3 says, sad Mr. Perfect never got his flowers today. They always give it to Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, but never Mr. Perfect, Rick Martel, Honky Tonk Man, and Tito Santana. Why? I think it's all positioning. You know, the guys you mentioned are like multiple time world champions and main event at WrestleMania. The other Rick Martel especially is very underrated. You got to know ball to know Rick Martel and Tito Santana. If you've seen Tito in his prime, then you kind of very serious about pro wrestling. Most people never paid attention to a Tito Santana match, especially if it happened after 1986, maybe. They probably didn't pay any attention to it. But I love Tito. I always thought Tito was very good. He's a pretty decent Intercontinental champion too. But Rick Martel is somebody you got to know ball to really be like on top of that. Honky Tonk Man too, because Honky Tonk Man was 99% gimmick, but the gimmick worked, so he didn't have to be a technical marvel. He could just shake, rattle, and roll and get a ton of heat. I don't think Sting cares. He ain't got no pump in them arms. He's wearing a t-shirt. I don't think Sting cares about this. I don't think he's invested. Anyway, AJ3 says Bret was just bitter. He says he came off Montreal and his brother died. Bret took all his bitterness and I guess you mean anger out in WCW. Yeah, Owen had died the same year. It was a couple of months before this. But I don't think it was Bret's fault. I think part of it was the booking. Because a lot of those matches that happened, and I just can't believe they had Bret Hart versus Randy Savage, and that match was nothing. It's like I can't believe they had Bret Hart versus Sting, and those matches were nothing. You know, like, this is a tournament match, but it's not the finals, for God's sake. And their match at what was that, Halloween Havoc? That was horseshit. Was it Halloween Havoc '98? It was horseshit when Sting had the tomato face. It was garbage, my guy. And it wasn't Bret's fault because Bret was still having good matches at the time. But in WCW, he was unmotivated. And Sting was unmotivated after Starrcade 97. I don't think he cared anymore. He peaked as a character at that point in time. He was still having good matches, though. He had great matches with DDP. He had a pretty good match with Goldberg. Who else did he have a good match with? I can't remember. I think he had a decent match with Sid. I think I remember. Did he wrestle Sid? Again, a low blow right in front of the referee. It's the third match in a row. For God's sake. Follow the rules, man. And Sting is a babyface, isn't he? Well, I guess he has to work heel here because it's in Canada. But okay. Sting should never be a heel, if we're being honest. Heel Sting is like a bad idea. It has never gone well. It didn't go well in WCW. It didn't go well in TNA. Heel Sting is it's a mistake. It's like heel Jeff Hardy. It's stupid. Top Dog says the NXT roster has a lot of young, attractive women that could really carry the women's division, like Lola Vice, Cora Jade, Jada Parker, Thea Hill, and many more. Absolutely. They have a lot of young chicks who they need a franchise player. I think that's what the women's division. The women's division in NXT is stacked, but they don't have a franchise player. They don't have a Charlotte. You know, I think Soul Ruka might be the closest to it, but she ain't figured out the character yet. Tiffany Stratton was that, and then they yanked her out of NXT and put her on SmackDown. Now they're trying to make Roxanne Perez, but she doesn't have the personality. Matter of fact, she ain't been on TV in weeks. Well, she's been on TV, but she ain't done anything. Let's put it like that. Yeah, this match is better than their Halloween Havoc match. It's better than that so far. Sting is more aggressive. I think late stage WCW Sting got showed up by his TNA work. Because when he came to TNA, he was motivated. Oh, shit. He tried a stinger splash on the desk. That's crazy. Oh, shit. If anything, I would imagine CM Punk is going to try to get some of those people moved back to NXT. He will have to advocate for some guys. But the thing is, I think the the politics is probably better because Heyman has more authority than he ever had before. And now Punk is there. He's got more stroke than he ever had before. So, it's it ought to be a better system for young talent now. Because at least these older guys, they've been moved out of the way. Why is Brett on the top rope? He just elbowed the referee, my God. And here comes Luger. I think every match so far has had a run in. Every single match. I'm sorry, the total package. Not Luger. Did they change his name yet? Oh boy. What is this now? It's too late. This is the second time I've seen these two guys wrestle, and a baseball bat has been involved. Now the referee. Wait a minute. What's happening? What's happening? Yeah, what is going on here? Oh, he won by disqualification? That's weird. Okay, at least this is consistent with Sting's character. He got screwed over to lose the title, and now he gets screwed over and he can't win the title back. This is all right, I guess. All right, I guess, but okay, okay, whatever. Sting still got hit with a bat, by the way, so Brett's going to win this match, and that's not going to matter because Sting got hit in the leg with a bat. So, why did they change his name to the Total Package? Now, I'll say this: his entrance was badass. If you've never seen the Total Package entrance, and I'm not just talking about his debut, I'm talking about any entrance of Lex Luger as the Total Package. It's phenomenal. How nobody has managed to steal that entrance yet is crazy to me. It's perfect for like a Chris Masters type heel. It's perfect. If I was a wrestler, I would steal that entrance, especially if I had a female valet and I had like a physique like a Chris Masters or something. I would 100% steal the Total Package entrance. Oh boy, he's limping around now. See, CM Punk is smashing those NXT chicks. Oh Lord, I would hope not. Now he was known for doing that kind of shit when he was younger. I don't know if he would be doing that today, especially with all the shit Vince is getting into. You think, I don't know, man. I would think they would be on heightened alert for that kind of thing right now. Okay. Not clean, but okay. He won it by the book. Did he? After this guy got hit in the leg with a pipe or a bat, I'm sorry. That was by the book. Okay. At least he won the match, I guess. But again, Bret Hart's thing, mid. But it was better than the last time they wrestled. I remember Bret was like very unhappy with all these guys. I'm pretty sure the booking of this match was not something that he was fond of. Sting is so good, but he's had it's unfortunate. I think Sting want to shake your hand. Get in the ring. One thing I love about Sting is all the shit that he's been through, all the stupid matches they put him in, all the stupid angles he was a part of, all the dumbass jobs he did. He never buries anybody. He never talks shit about anybody. That's amazing. He's a fucking saint. This is a stupid fucking angle he got put in here. Benoit has been chilling. It's been an hour since he wrestled. He ain't wrestled in an hour. For God's sake, he looked fresher than Daisy. I forgot how much of a robot Benoit was. My God. That was actually a decent promo from Benoit. Oh, now he's got a net brace on. And he's been sweating. Why is he sweating? He's seen a doctor already in the last 15 minutes. Oh, okay. Luger doesn't get a lot of credit either. Luger was very good. Luger has never really sucked. He was mid at times where he should have been great, but he never sucked. He was just green during his early push. But he still wasn't bad. In the early 90s, WCW, Luger was an ace. People hate on him for no reason because he wasn't Flair. He dared have muscles, for God's sake. Najee Savage, Mongo, did you see the Conor McGregor case? What are you planning on doing a video on it? I had not planned on doing any videos on Conor McGregor, but I followed some of the case. I just I had to walk away from it. It was another one of those situations where it was his word versus hers, and everybody just believed her. So there, it is what it is. I would love for somebody to tell me when the last time a rape case happened and the man was not found liable. Like, these things almost seem like they're a foregone conclusion. No matter what evidence you bring up, no matter what story you tell, no matter how much what she did doesn't make sense, you always get found liable. Always. I would love to find out if there was ever a case within the last decade where the man was not found liable for rape. Oh my lord, Alex Wright. Oh, this is the Berlin character. Oh no, this is the shits. And he's wrestling Vampiro. Hey, do you remember that? Oh, you guys probably don't know this, but Vampiro used to be a pretty big star. He was huge in Mexico. He came to WCW and was mid, but he had decent matches with Sting, surprisingly. Top Dog says, "Did you see the rumors of the court probably throwing out Vince McMahon's case?" I heard that the district attorney that was looking into it is resigning, and that there will be a new district attorney, or for Southern New York. I don't know if that's going to mean the case is going to get thrown out, but a lot of people feel like the Diddy thing and the Vince McMahon thing is more political than legal as it is, because the Diddy case is all based on the Cassie lawsuit, and the Vince McMahon thing was always going to be based on the Janelle Grant lawsuit. So none of them are based off of, we have a ton of evidence, but we don't know. We'll see, I guess. If Vince jobs out the federal government again, though, that'd be insane. Oh, no, not Oklahoma. Oh, my goodness. I can't believe Dr. Death Steve Williams went along with this, knowing how important Jim Ross was. I wonder, did Jim Ross ever talk about Dr. Death Steve Williams being involved with this Oklahoma thing and how he felt about that? Because this seems crazy to me. That Dr. Death Steve Williams, a guy who Jim Ross vouched for to get him a job in the WWF. They worked together when they with Bill Watts. They probably knew each other for years, and he's hanging around this guy. This guy mocks Jim Ross. It's kind of slimy, if you ask me. But at this point, Dr. Death was like 38 or something like that. And he just needed the money. Vampiro and Berlin are having a dog collar match, and I don't know why, and I was not told why, and there's no video package telling me why I should. At least I don't see one. Why this match should be a dog collar match? Whose idea was it to make Alex Wright grimdark? And who the fuck is this guy with that thing on his head? I know this is the wall right here, right? It's the wall. I remember seeing Vampiro. They did an interview with him in some kind of video game magazine or something like that. shortly after WCW closed, and they were asking him why he didn't go to the WWF. He gave them kind of smart ass response. Um, he's talking about he had video games to play or something like that. I think later on he would say that his gimmick was too similar to Undertaker's, and that's why he didn't go to WWF. But Vampiro certainly could have made some money in the Fed, though. He's not a small guy. He speaks more than one language. He has a cool factor. This is sick. This is stupid. The only problem I would have is it's not that Vince is going to be found not guilty. It will be that the case will be dropped, likely because there's not enough evidence. And then it will be seen as a victory for Vince, but it will also be seen as Trump got involved and the case got dropped. It's political. And to me, that's what it feels like. It feels like Trump got elected, and now the district attorney is going to drop the case, but he's going to resign first. So he won't have to drop the case. He's going to make the next district attorney drop the case. So then it'll feel like Trump got involved and saved Vince. And then that's what's going to be the story from that point forward. That the Trump's Department of Justice let his friends off the hook. That's going to be the story. AJ3 says Berlin originally was supposed to be a Marilyn Manson themed gimmick, but after the Columbine shooting, they dropped the angle and hold his debut for a few weeks. Then she just went back to being Alex Wright. I don't know what he's supposed to be here. How is this guy able to bend Vampiro? What is happening? I thought this was between the two of them. How is this guy in the match now? I mean, Alex Wright is super white here. He's very untanned. They ran poor Alex Wright out of the business. For God's sake. My God. So the Wall is leaving. All right. See you later, Wall. Who the hell is that? Just end this. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Just end this. Just call it quits. It's over. Why is Oklahoma out there? Why are they doing this? Who is this guy with this thing in his face? Who told him that was a good idea? He looks so, as Conan says, JoJo. Damn, that was a crazy suplex. Now, I just have to say, I feel like all these cases were political, and I'm not a Trump supporter. I think so too. Look, you have to remember that a lot of district attorneys, lawyers, and such, these people are always out to try to make their name because they always look um to go forward in their political careers, either run for judgeships, run for Senate, House, Congress, mayorships, or whatever. And like Kamala Harris, she was a prosecutor, and she wanted to run for the Senate. Then she wanted to run for president. And you can always say, I prosecuted such and such. And that's what all the Trump prosecutions were all about. And look, I don't know if he did the things that they say he did. I don't know. But I'm always suspicious of people who engage in very politically fortuitous endeavors. And he choked this man to death. White man with dreadlocks. All right. Well, all right. Now, why is he jumping this guy? Oh, shit. That looked dangerous. What was that about? His name is Jerry Only. Oh, this is a disaster. This show way off the rails. That was a hell of a power bomb, though. That was great. But why? Why is this happening? Wait a minute. Didn't Vince Russo make fun of Dr. Death Steve Williams and talk about how old he was? And then he bring him into WCW? Oh, Sid. Sid's amazing. Two belt haul, baby. Too sweet. He's going to get group rate to the hospital. He tried to escape being touched by screaming Norman Smiley. Damn, this is a really poor camera shooting here. Who is this young lady? Oh, DDP's wife. She's going to wrestle David. Why? Why? Oh, so now Luger has to wrestle with the neck brace on and everything, huh? Oh, we need to have total package WrestleMania at this point. We need this. Is it necessary that we need this match? I know Ming rules and all, but come on. His theme rules too. Okay. The total package. Top Dog said, I swear Vince McMahon has to be in the history books. He beat the government. He beat Ted Turner. He took down all the territories. He took the company back after getting ousted. I mean, he's something, isn't he? He's a hell of a guy, man. You can't count Vince out until he's in the ground. And even afterwards, he might have a dead man's hand to play. He feels like the kind of guy who would have some kind of dead man's hand. Like if something was to happen to him. Oh yeah, he did blast him in the head with that pipe. I mean, he hit him like 100 times with that bitch. The main one's so big and thick, I was like, too many times. Jerry Only was a member of this rock band called the Misfits. Oh, so that's why he had a Misfits jacket on. That's interesting. Was this a Vince Russo idea for? Maybe I need to look that guy up too. This is the 2K, the version 2K chose to represent Lex Luger. The total package version. I mean, that's okay. I would have gone with early '90s WCW Lex Luger, but okay. The total package kind of ruled. Unfortunately, Elizabeth is not in the game. I'm pretty sure about that. He said, "You can't talk to me." He's a savage. He's an animal. Oh shit! Sting lays his. I mean, Ming lays his shit in, boy. His shit looks good. That's 1,000 kicks though. It's probably like a few too many. That's big Fro Ming too. He was an old man at this point though. He was pretty old. He had been around for a long time. Remember, he was that king of the ring in like the late 80s. He's still there in 99. I know he came to WWF after this too. He still got that damn neck brace on. This is crazy. Of course, it's a charade. He's a heel. It is not real. He is not really hurt. The Tongan death grip. You grab him by the neck. Oh, you figured it out, Tony Schiavone? Congratulations. He's gonna try it anyway, though. Ming has to be an idiot. Clearly, you see his neck is protected. Why would you grab his neck without taking the thing off first? Top Dog says, "How do you think we'll perform under Trump 2.0? Do you think the economy will get better?" Depends. Depends on whether they let him go all in on those tariffs or not. I don't like the tariffs. I don't like that idea. I'm not a big fan. I'm a free market guy, not really a protectionist guy. So I'm there's the cost of goods and services. Let's say Trump gets all the tariffs that he wants. The cost of goods and services are going to increase. It's going to be inflationary. But I would imagine the cost of things are going to go up whether you have to manufacture it in the United States or not. So I don't know. It'll probably be a while before you figure it out. Well, some things it may take a while, but you already have places like Walmart are already telling people, like, we get a lot of our stuff from China. So the tariffs are going to cause an increase in price. I think I just saw Wes from Thinking Critical, is a comic book channel. He was talking about how a lot of comic book publishers use foreign publishers, not and shippers and all that kind of stuff, and cost of comic books might go up. Cost of imports might end up going up. So maybe that'll be the case. That's not what you want though, and people are not going to be happy about that. But those are individual goods and weird things. Once the cost of steel gets really high and lumber, that's going to be a problem. Once things like steel and lumber, those things, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a real big problem. So hopefully he doesn't get all the tariffs that he wants, and somebody, maybe Elon, somebody talks to Trump and tells him the tariffs are probably not a good idea. And he might just be saying it to, why was she spraying Luger? Elizabeth, are you on drugs? His face was right there. What's going on? The crowd seems to be pretty restless. This is a pretty long meeting. AJ3 says he's all for mass deportation so we can have more black jobs. I also am in favor of mass deportations. Oh shit! Ming just beat Lex Luger. That's wild. He beat him clean too. Holy shit! Well, relatively clean because there was some interference from Elizabeth, but I'm floored by this. This got to be the biggest win in his career. What are your thoughts on Chicago Red? I'm not sure if I know who that is. What is that? And she sprayed it like underhand. Like it took her forever to set it up, which is the worst thing about throwing stuff in people's faces. The Savage. Ooh, there's another hour of this show remaining, bro. God damn. This show feels like it's been long as hell. It's been almost 2 hours already. I didn't have any dessert today. I feel bad about that. Maybe I would get a brownie or a donut or something tomorrow. But then that's because I had, yams and shit. Maybe I was smart enough to do that. I'll do it tomorrow. Brett looks worn out. He looked tired. Brett's in his 40s at this point. He's tired. He's tired. He's in good shape though. Like he got pump in his arms. And Luger just walked through the shot. Good lord. Is that chump David Flair? Is that supposed to be symbolic of him stroking his thing? Polishing his crowbar. What? He's maniacally jacking off with the crowbar. That's sick. He's a sick man. You're a sick man, Flair. We'll pack it back, cause a mass destruction. The bad boys arrest. This is clearly before Scott Hall threw the TV title in the garbage. But what is about to happen here? 2-belt Hall. Insane. It's amazing this guy never won the world title either. But he came to WWE, he was already in his 30s. So he also was old here. He won the TV title by forfeit. That's crazy. This is the greatest theme song in WCW history. This and Booker T's theme. Wolfpack theme. That'll be one of the greatest themes in wrestling history. Who was that? It said Kevin Nash threw the TV title. Yeah, it was. I knew it was one of them dorks that did it. This is clearly before that. You could tell Bishop. I mean, Vince Russo didn't care about the TV title. But I'm hearing Goldberg chants. I hope it's not Goldberg. That would suck. I want to see. I want to see Hall get work. See murder. SEE murder. He was rapping on the Wolfpack thing. That's pretty cool. He spent a great deal of time in jail afterwards. Glad he had a pretty good legacy in wrestling. Okay. The crazy thing is, Hall could have been completely, totally plastered, and nobody would have cared because he was funny. Bring it. Oh, it's Booker T. Hell yeah. This ought to be fun. You already played Booker T's music. Thank you. I've never seen these two guys wrestle each other, so I'm okay with this. I'm good with this. This is good booking, my guy. Booker T and Scott Hall. Hopefully Nash doesn't run out here and cause some kind of disqualification or something stupid. This could be fun. Wait, this is double title? That's for both belts? Okay. All right, let's go. The matchups on this show have not been bad. Outside of the that Berlin thing, that screaming Norman Smiley thing, and that that thing that involved Buff Bagwell, it's actually been a pretty decent show. Benoit versus Jarrett, that's a pay-per-view worthy match. Sting versus Bret Hart is pay-per-view worthy. This match is pay-per-view worthy. But unfortunately, a lot of that other stuff got a lot of time. That Asia shit, who cares about all that crap? It was just too much of it. WG Phil says that he's a with the timestamp is 1 hour 56 minutes and 40 seconds. WG Phil says it's funny seeing leftists now being proponents for cheap illegal labor, as if it's owned to Trump. They also all of a sudden making free market arguments because they're against tariffs. So now they're like, wait a minute, but what about the free market? Wait a minute, what about cheap foreign labor? Like, wait a minute. That's how you know when it's not about values, it's not about policy, it's about power. You know, the left is supposed to hate, cheap labor. They were the ones railing against illegal immigration from the beginning because they thought it was a Koch brothers libertarian scheme to undercut American workers. And then out of nowhere, they decided that they were the new voting class, so they were going to be the people that they defended. Then they were protectionists. They wanted to protect unions. So they were against things like NAFTA and other kind of free trade agreements. Now they're like, tariffs? What are you talking about? You can't have tariffs. You gotta have free trade, bro. It's like we've been telling you assholes this for years, and you've been running around here talking about how great NAFTA is. Well, NAFTA is fine, it's free trade. But you wanted to be protectionists, and now you got a Republican who wants to be a protectionist, and now you want to be a free trader. This stuff doesn't make sense. How much longer does the SJW era is going to go on? It's going to go on forever because these people will never go anywhere. It's only going to get worse. I think we're seeing at the tip of the spear right now. Again, Trump is out one way or the other in 4 years. Either he's not going to survive his administration, or he's going to survive it and it's going to be over, and then they got to find somebody new. And they're probably going to be getting even more woke than ever. Ooh, choke slam. AJ3 misses Love and Miss DDP's theme music. I did the riff off of Smell Like Teen Spirit. That was pretty good too. It's probably top 5. Probably top 5. But the side kick the shit out of it. Oh, hold on. Oh no. Oh no. Oh yeah. Wall's trying to cheat, but it's he can't put his foot on the rope. It's amazing how Hall is such an underrated worker because he has so much charisma and personality that people kind of overrate his actual in-ring stuff, and they act like he can't do the thing. Like he got no bangers. Like he only did a ladder match with Shawn and that was it. Oh no, it's about to be a run in, right? What's happening in the crowd? Like Razor and Scott Hall can't work. This is the 8th time I've seen Jeff Jarrett. Enough of this goddamn Jeff Jarrett. Enough. God damn it. Jeff Jarrett is the star of the show. He lost in the first match, and this is like the 6th time I've seen him since. God damn. Shuffle sidekick. After the spinneroni. He cooking. About to do the Harlem Hangover. Oh my God. Okay, here comes the Razor's Edge. Oh, it was a good match. More outside interference, but it was a good match. I had fun with that one. That was good. Fucking Jarrett. Jesus Christ. How many matches have he interfered in so far? 2? Uh-oh, lights went out. What's this about? Hmm? What's this? What? There who is? Oh my goodness. Who's this Amazon? What is this about? She's gigantic. Oh, what is going on? Who is Midnight? I gotta write that down. Where's his neck brace? Where your neck brace at, Luger? I need to find out about Tony Marinara, Midnight, and Asia. I need to look these people up when the show is over. I got to figure out where these people went. Oh yeah, what that guy's name was? Jerry Only. Write his name down too. WG feels so this was a weird transition period when Booker wore tights like these and transitioned to trunks. Yeah, I think this is like. Well, I think Harlem Heat had been over for a little while at this point. But he wasn't really taken seriously as a single star yet. He was kind of like a lower mid card guy, which is why he was like a perfect opponent for Scott Hall in like a TV title match. Okay, let me pay attention to this, because why is David Flair on his television? Oh my goodness. Ooh, wait. Whoa, here's an H. Okay, why was she trying? Wait a minute. Why was she trying to seduce David Flair? Why did DDP kiss David Flair? So now he's stalking her? So she quit the Nitro Girls, and Vince Russo is making her wrestle. Okay. It makes some sense, I guess, but I don't understand why Kimberly was trying to seduce David Flair. I think I missed why that was happening. And maybe because he kept hitting her on the butt. Is that what she was trying to say? So she tried to jump him in a hotel room, but it ended up being Rick. I don't know. But they whatever they did to make him look like this, it worked because he looks psychotic. He looks psychotic. It's a little makeup. Why does he need a crowbar for Kimberly though? Why does he need a crowbar? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Kimberly's a woman, and she's not even a wrestler. I will say this: Vince Russo is a positive for trying to turn everybody into a character. Oh my goodness! Kimberly's hot. DDP about to jump this guy from behind, ain't he? That would make perfect sense. Probably gonna catch a diamond cutter, and this thing's not about to last very long. He looked like Nails. Like I don't know how many of y'all remember Nails, but that's how David Flair looks in the face right now. He looks like Nails. And it's a positive because Nails was supposed to be like in prison forever because of the Big Boss Man. I don't understand why you would book this, but okay. This is obviously about to go somewhere it's not supposed to go. But Kimberly is super hot. And she's back to trying to seduce him. She's showing how limber and flexible she is. But that was clearly, I figured it had something to do with sex, the way he was stroking the crowbar. I have figured it had something to do with sex. So he's got a penis that he just put away. He put symbolically he put his penis down because now he's focused on getting his hands on Kimberly. Wait a minute, didn't the bell ring? And for like the 8th time in a row, somebody got kicked in the nuts in front of the referee. And now he's got the crowbar. Oh shit, he hit the referee with the crowbar. And she immediately got on her knees. And great defense there, Kimberly. This guy is just hitting his balls and you just immediately get on your knees. The crowd is actually into this, which is very bizarre. There has to be some kind of male character coming out here in a second to stop this. What is her hands doing? What is her hands doing? What is happening here? She took his cup out and then hit him with it, and that hurt him. And then she kicked him in the nuts. And then you are the worst stalker ever. You're getting beat up by a girl. This is terrible. Look, I guess there was metal inside the. No, it wasn't metal. It was like a hard plastic. And she put the cup on his face. Well, at least David Flair is not like some kind of notable wrestler or something like that. He's a punk kid. But now she's just bullying him. What a turn we've had here, where we went from being scared for Kimberly, and with nobody else getting involved, David Flair is now on the other side of this situation. I don't understand this. She basically saved herself from this scenario in a way that didn't make sense because David Flair clearly is not trying to hurt this girl. Because if he was, he would have done something. Here comes Canyon. He can't stand heterosexuality, so here it is. I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. WG Phil says Thanksgiving has a lot of feuds happening. Your boy Zach crying about drinkers since 3 in the morning, and Zach commenting on Devontae video on the Fightful account. That boy has really made it. He's got Sean Ross Sapp indirectly promoting his videos. That's amazing. That's amazing. I didn't even watch that video yet. So now 2 guys, after Kimberly beat up David Flair on her own, now DDP and Canyon come out there to help. Has the Jersey Triad been put together yet at this time? Because I want to see, or is Bam Bam still in ECW? Uh-oh, here comes Arn Anderson. It took DDP forever to get out there to save his own wife. What is happening? And he let her come out there by herself. What was the point of that? You could have at least had the referee throw him out. I didn't know your boy Zach and Critical Drinker was still going back and forth. Yeah, he's clearly an incel at this point. That he was being led astray by the venomous Kimberly, but I don't know why. What is she going to get out of this? Oh, now David Flair is turning heel by attacking Arn Anderson. Why isn't he going after the people who just beat him? Why is he going through the crowd? What's happening here? Islamic State. Oh, that's crazy. Ooh, that's blasphemy. I like it. He said, I can't see AEW doing anything controversial. It's made by and for NPCs. Yeah, some people are starting to break the frame. They don't like that. The amount of people complaining about Dynamite increases by the week. And everybody's like, oh, the banger matches are back. These matches aren't even bangers, they suck. 90% of the matches y'all think are bangers are trash. Top Dog says WWE having DDP stalk Undertaker's wife, even though he was married to hot ass Kimberly Page, would forever be stupid. Yeah, I don't understand why they decided to bring DDP in for that, of all things. I'm thinking it was probably a test, what you call that quote unquote humiliation ritual, to see if he was one of the boys. And plus, DDP was in his 40s already, so I guess they figured they couldn't do much else with him. But I don't like that idea. That idea sucks. I don't even understand why they needed to have Undertaker's wife be stalked on the show, let alone by DDP. Why does she need to be stalked by anybody? This is a great angle they're doing here with Arn Anderson, though. But why they do it with David Flair of all people? And he's doing a great job of selling. That guy's eyes are open. Soy Boy Sap is the embodiment of everything wrong with modern wrestling. Yeah, he's a dork who I don't think ever played any sports, who is probably has no friends, certainly no testicles, who is, you know, a little too friendly with the talent, and wants to make himself the center of the story, and then is surprised when people are attacking him personally. I don't know. Pretty obvious. But the amount of people who want to make themselves the star of the show and then get upset about it is pretty ridiculous. But he's going to have his hands full with all the people attacking him and Fightful over the last couple of weeks. I mean, that Kate girl got so much heat on Fightful just the other day. They in deep shit. I can tell you that much. What I think was the last good year of wrestling, probably 2018. But like objectively, like years I thought was really good, probably 20. Actually, it might have been 2016. 2019 was objectively just very bad. It was a very bad year. And 2020 was pandemic, and that's part of 2021 as well. As they were coming out of the pandemic, it got a little bit better. It got better at that point. But I wouldn't say it was the best. Goldberg versus Sid, motherfucker, I'm in. But what is this for? He's gonna rip up your future destination. What's that mean? I'm sorry, it's not a jackknife when Sid does it. Sorry. Powerbomb. I'm all in on this one. I don't even care about what they're fighting about. Oh, he beat the shit out of Sid. Oh, this is after. Ooh, yeah, that Halloween Havoc match was amazing. That's my favorite Goldberg match, bro. I think that was the I Quit match between these two guys. That I Quit match was so much fun. Oh, this is the I Quit match between these two guys. So that Halloween Havoc match wasn't the I Quit match, but that Halloween Havoc match was my favorite. He no sold that. This is gonna be fun. I'm not as familiar with Walt Clyde, but I'm pretty open to. I probably need to listen to his channel a little bit, but I'm okay with, pretty much collaborating with anybody as long as it got the right time. It's usually not a problem for me. My problem is I try to do things on a schedule, but sometimes I don't do things on a schedule. So I used to see Walt Clyde on my account all the time, but only like his posts, not his videos. So I don't know what his content is like. Oh, he's the master and ruler of Bill Goldberg. I like this. I wish I had a brownie or a donut or something right now. This is about to be very adult. Sid versus Goldberg is about to be money. There ain't gonna be no in-ring technical classic, that's for sure. There's another 33 minutes in this show. The timestamp 2 hours, 20 minutes, 15 seconds. The Millennium Man, Sid Vicious. I'm thinking I'm having the roof of my mouth started to itch. I know I ain't had like no shrimp or nothing like that, so hope I'm not having an allergic reaction. It's always funny to me how Goldberg is like super jacked and all his security guys are like regular dudes, like normal sized guys. Like these guys don't look like they can protect themselves, let alone a guy as jacked as Bill Goldberg. And they never had any reason why Goldberg needs to have an entourage walk him to the ring. Like, is it to protect Goldberg or is it to protect everybody from Goldberg? Almost like, Sabu. But it rules, regardless. I'm glad I outgrew my hatred for guys like Goldberg and John Cena. Once you learn that there's more ways to do this shit than what Mitsuharu Misawa has, deemed the gold standard of wrestling, when you drop yourself on your neck 100 times, or you could just be cool as fuck, and that can draw money, then you can definitely appreciate Ultimate Warrior. You could definitely appreciate Bill Goldberg. You could appreciate Sid because they err on the side of cool. Ultimately, being cool is more important than anything else, really. Having aura matters, even if you can't work for shit. I mean, just look at these two guys, man. You mean you put these two guys on a poster anywhere in the world and tell people they're going to fight? Somebody's going to pay a ticket to see it. They're like, God damn, that dude's big. He's muscular. I'm all for it. And it doesn't matter what kind of fight it is. Pro wrestling, boxing, MMA, all works the same way. Goldberg knows. Sid just jumping up after that power slam is crazy. You got to give Sid credit because he's getting up there for Goldberg. Goldberg's not snatching him like that. So it's Sid's athleticism that's allowing him to be moves like this. That black dude, you the man, you the man. And Cena worked house shows, by the way. So Cena was doing all kinds of shit in the middle of buttfuck Iowa and was selling a bunch of merchandise. Omega was having 5-star matches in the Tokyo Dome and ended up having a quarter of his guts removed. This Cobra clutch was crazy. That's why I realized a long time ago what the Wrestling Observer thinks is great sucks 9 times out of 10. Like sometimes they're legitimately good matches, but they're only good for you to watch them once. Like sometimes a movie wins an Oscar, it's a legitimately good movie, but it'll never be better than your favorite movie that didn't win an Oscar. I mean, Death to Smoochie is a fucking awesome movie that everybody thinks sucks. And if you read like the reviews and stuff, people think the movie sucks. But it's a fucking hilarious fucking movie because it's not trying to be Godfather. It has a different function. And a Bill Goldberg versus Sid Vicious match serves a different function than a Mitsuharu Misawa versus the Kenta Kobashi match. They operate in different realms. You need to be able to appreciate the different realms. If you can appreciate guys wrestling blow up dolls, then the idea that people in NXT do kind of like these Saved by the Bell skits is okay. I refuse to be these people to be like telling me what good wrestling is. That rules. Great choke slam by Sid right there. Goldberg couldn't jump for shit, but it was cool. Do it again. Ooh-wee. I like that Bill Goldberg tries to shake shit off. Like that's his version of selling. Is basically he tries to shake it off. So instead of like holding his head or holding his back, he'll just try to shake it off. That's a classic masculine thing that you're in some kind of pain and you just like fuck it, I want to push through it. And Goldberg's proto MMA with this arm bar here. Why did the referee stop this? He could quit in the submission hold. Why would you stop the submission hold? The crowd hates Goldberg. They like Sid. That's okay. Sid rules. This is good. This is good. And this is late stage Sid too, by the way. This is 99 Sid. And Sid was another one of these guys that's been around since like the late 80s. Like Lex Luger. Never got any credit. He probably gets more credit now since he's been dead than before. But Sid has always been tremendous, dog. Those punches are connecting, but they're not killing Sid. Come on, Sid. And they're effectively working the crowd. Goldberg is menacing Sid. He's hovering over him, not really letting him breathe. And the crowd hates this shit. That is not appropriately. That's not in. That's not in. Okay. Goldberg breaking out submission holds. It's not locked in at all. It's not appropriately applied, but it's worked. I guess it's loose here. Damn, that's the finish. Goldberg got a pretty dominant win there. Sid didn't quit. He got choked out. That's fine. That's fine as a fit. In an I quit match, it's okay to choke your opponent out. You got to stop the match if the guy can't respond. So I think it's effective for a guy like Sid to get choked out. That works. I hate that it was shorter than Kurt Hennig and Buff Bagwell, but it didn't need to be long. I mean, these guys are heavyweights. Goldberg is disgusted that the referee stopped the match. He wanted to see it quit. I will watch this match again. I might watch this match again before I go to bed, goddammit. No interference, no bullshit. Goldberg just beat him and was believable in doing so, even though his submission hold was very, very loose. He needs to work on it a little bit more. Why is Luger on screen again? So we went from Luger being attacking Sting to Luger in a neck brace to now Luger is walking around chasing Elizabeth, saying what was she doing out there anyway, even though he brought her out there. And now he's looking to put and do harm to Elizabeth. And we got all this in one night. Main event time, Benoit, Bret Hart, 2 hours, 30 minutes, 20 seconds is the time stamp. Let's get into the World Heavyweight Championship match. This ought to be great. Hopefully we don't find fucking Jeff Jarrett involved in this match. WG Field says, imagine how Kenny or other Meltzer favorites will feel about Meltzer when they have to retire at a young age. Wondering if that should have taken that Miz rivalry. No, I'm pretty sure they're okay with it now because they got that big money from AEW, which would have been the money they would have got from WWE. So I'm pretty sure that's okay, you know. And they seem to be really kind of preparing themselves for life after wrestling anyway. So that whatever that noise is, that I think it's a guitar making in this theme song, it sucks. If I was Chris Benoit, man, I'd be like, Jesus Christ, I wrestled 2 hours ago, bro. He could have took a nap, got him a nice little meal, got a decent pump, and that was before goddamn Brett even got in the ring. What about Walt Clyde? Walt Clyde, LOL. All of them should have taken. I bet Jay White wishes he had jumped in that Miz rivalry. As funny as everybody tried to make it, like Okada and a Chase U shirt and all that kind of stuff. Look at what they're doing now. Okada has a belt nobody cares about. He's not wrestling in any big matches. He's wrestling goddamn Daniel Garcia on Collision or something, Rampage or whatever. None of this is any good. I can tell you that at least they booked this tournament well. They got the 2 Canadians in the finals, so Canada can't complain. So either one Canadian wins or the other Canadian wins. They may be, overwhelmingly pro Brett, but I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have flipped. They wouldn't have burnt any seats. It's been a while would have won. WG Field says Jay White could have had Adam Page's title run. I'm not even gonna hold you up. I'm not even sure if Jay White should have been the world champion. As much as I like Jay White, he's been exposed in America. He's a good wrestler, but I'm not so sure he has the right persona. You know, I'm not sure he has the right. He carries himself okay. He carries himself like he wants to be a star, and he carries himself like you should think he's a star, but he doesn't really have much to say. He needs a personality. And that's been the biggest problem with AEW. A lot of these guys come to AEW and start doing the same thing that they've been doing. And that just increases Chris Jericho's value. Because Jericho changes his gimmick every fucking year. These guys don't even get haircuts. Most of the guys in AEW don't change their gimmick at all. I mean, and then they only try once they get so stale that they piss people off, like the Young Bucks and Hangman Page. Then they all of a sudden they want to change their gimmick. That's how you lock in a hole. Look how he got Benoit's arm. It looked like it might really hurt you. Unlike that thing Sid had, was locked in. That was hilarious. Benoit was the only guy I've seen do that little kitchen sink running knee strike thing to the stomach. I never see anybody else do that. It's a vicious ass move, by the way. To just knee strike somebody as they're running by. Somebody should steal that. Everybody steal all his other moves. They might as well steal that one too. They be doing Benoit tributes low key in wrestling. That's what I took when Sean started doing the crossface out of nowhere. Like he just, like every other match he was using the crossface. I'm like, why are you doing the crossface all of a sudden? Then I was like, okay, he's doing Chris Benoit tributes, which probably ain't the smartest thing to do, but they're doing it. The kids are doing it. The crowd is overwhelmingly pro Brett, which makes sense because he was the WWF champion for so long, and Benoit's kind of an upstart who's never been in this position before. So they see him as a mid-carder. And to be quite honest, that's probably why Benoit should have won this match, but Brett winning was overwhelmingly the right thing to do due to the Owen Hart situation. You want the feel-good story. This would have been a pretty good pay-per-view if they'd have cut out a lot of the early garbage. Like some of the later stuff was good. Booker T and Scott Hall was good. Goldberg and Sid was good. This match so far has been quite good. Sting and Brett was good before Luger got involved. Benoit and Jeff Jarrett was fine before the Harris twins came out. You need some soft material, like some dumb shit in there. So maybe you need to have the 6-man tag or something like that in there. But that Kurt Hennig would have been great with another opponent. That thing with David Flair was not needed. But that was just, them throwing too much at the wall. I hope he screenshotted it. I hope Devontae was smart enough to screenshot it and keep it for posterity. Like that's what I learned. Oh my God. Now we got outside interference already. That's what I learned from having people that I'm talking about pop up in the channel. Is that Dean Malenko? And he's right in front of the referee. The referee looking right at him. I'm sorry, but why is he doing this? Why do we have to have run-ins in every goddamn match? It broke up the momentum. See, the crowd was really into this thing, and then Dean Malenko jumped out of the crowd to attack Benoit. Now everybody's confused. Like, what the fuck was that about? And now he's also taken the attention off of the match in the ring. Like, Brett don't need the help to win. Now they got to work to get the crowd back. And the last two Bret Hart matches that have had run-ins. That's crazy. He wrestled earlier and had a run-in, a random run-in that didn't necessarily help him. See, this is what I mean. Look, Bret is already established and over, so it's not like you had to establish Bret Hart. But it doesn't help, Benoit or Sting to have all these outside interferences. It really just buries your referees, and that's what I mean by like wrestling today. It's too many run-ins in wrestling. There's too many people just walking down the aisle and jumping out of the crowd. It's just too much of that shit. Oh shit, he just hit Bret right in the face. It's way too much of that stuff. Them chops is vicious, dog. That Bret Baker was too. Bret Hart taking a back body drop. That was interesting. Yes, sir. I wonder if I could find Bloodsport on illegal streaming so far. I gotta want to watch that. Maybe I'll watch it tonight. These guys out here working their asses off. Has AEW reached a late stage WCW yet? They're getting very close with all the run-ins and all the guys jumping in and out of the crowd. I'm pretty well. If they stick to their guns with that Continental Classic, that might protect things a little bit because there won't be so many run-ins. But if that's one of the things that you have to pay attention to in wrestling is how many people are just interfering in matches. So you can't have that shit all up and through the card because at some point you got to say like, is there no rules? There's like the officials and shit not watching the product. Great tombstone here for Benoit. He did a jumping tombstone too. God damn. Here comes that's part one. Here comes the headbutt. Yep, that's Little Nate. Little Nate is the ref. And again, somebody just runs down and it's Scott Hall. Like, and Scott Hall missed his cue, and so now Hall and Nash had to. What is the reasoning for this? And here comes these people just running to the ring, bro. My God, this is not Nitro. Good Lord. What is it's just people galore, bro. Like, why wouldn't Hall attack like Benoit or whoever he was going to attack backstage? Why you had to attack him in the middle of the match? And now Goldberg is out here. And I don't understand why he's out here. He was just feuding with Sid. Why is he in mixing with all this shit? And again, they've broken the momentum that these guys have worked to gain. Because now there's a bunch of other people floating around. And now the referee is also down. I mean, imagine booking Chris Benoit versus Bret the Hitman Hart and then thinking that, you know what? We need to have Goldberg, Hall, Nash, and a bunch of other people run down to the ring at the same time. And you're not trying to like protect anything. This is for the world title, and it's a tournament final. this was like on TV, then maybe it might fly a little bit more. But no, that's not what this is. This is ridiculous. Mark Forrester says it's crazy how June of '98 they sold out the Georgia Dome, and 1 year later only 25,000. And then that October, WWE comes into your home base and sell out the dome for Raw. That's what happens when you drop the ball. Drop the ball. And Bischoff was all about it. He was all about dropping the ball. You know? Over and over, we had done everything over, do something else. Not smart man, that Eric Bischoff. Made bad decisions. Personal and business-wise. And now we got a split screen where we have a match in the ring for the world title, a tournament final, and it's having to share time with a backstage brawl. This is a world title pay-per-view match. This is not TV. What about Pedro Pascal? We talking about Gladiator 2? I take it that your boys act like Gladiator 2? I had no interest in even watching it. So now we got a new referee. Who is this guy? Oh, Mickey J. Okay. It was too much wrestling, and Vince Russo had to put his fingers all in it. You do all this gaga when guys are limited or when it's TV. You don't do gaga between when guys can really go in there and get the crowd themselves. And the crowd wants to see this match. They don't want the gaga at this point in time. When they wanted the gaga, it was the David Flair situation. That's when they wanted gaga. They don't want gaga here. You have to know better. You have to know not to put sprinkles on pizza. Scott Traver says, best mic man ever. I say Piper. Well, Piper is pretty damn good. You can't go wrong with Piper. He's a good choice. Hogan was entertaining. He was very funny. Especially if you go back to like Saturday Night's Main Event, he was very funny. But a lot of what Hogan was saying was thematic. Basically, it went to fit his opponent and a bunch of stuff like that. Like it was puns. It wasn't just like really hot one-liners, which is what Piper was good at. Piper was great at one-liners. He might be the best when it comes to that. Dropping a memorable one-liner, he was good. But Jake the Snake Roberts is also very good. For a different reason, though. A lot more psychology in Jake the Snake Roberts. A lot more menace. A lot more poetry. It was darker. Like there's some really good stuff about Jake Roberts promo. Same thing with the Macho Man. There was so much energy. And Ultimate Warrior is also a very great promo too, even though his stuff was cryptic. If you actually listen to what he was saying, it was like spirituality and philosophical stuff. It just came across because he's like insanely jacked and he's screaming that you don't really take what he's saying seriously. But if you like write down what he's saying, it's actually not that nutty. It's nutty enough and it fits the character, but when you actually listen to what he's saying, his delivery actually adds to how great the promo actually is. Mark Forster says it was sad they finally put Brett as a top guy in an overbooked match when it wasn't needed and the title run ends. We know how it ends. Right. The end is very unfortunate. Extremely unfortunate. They fumbled Brett as soon as he walked in the door. That's absolutely true because they made him do the Montreal thing immediately, which is so fucking dumb. It was so incredibly stupid. But this is how you know when the bookers don't have any talent, is they typically overbook things that don't need to be overbooked. There's a bunch of fucking run-ins and weapons and a bunch of stuff that's not necessarily. Was Surfer Sting actually a surfer? No, they just called him Surfer Sting because he had bleached blonde hair and he looked like a stereotype of a surfer. And at the time, he never had a surfing gimmick. His gimmick was always that he was Sting. He's basically high energy babyface. Who threw like a milkshake at Chris Benoit? Why would you do that? He hasn't killed his kid yet. These WCW fans are out of line, man. He ain't even done anything yet. And he's the babyface in this match. He just got jumped by the NWO and you want to throw milkshakes and shit at him? I'm going to throw this whole Sprite at Chris Benoit for no reason. It's crazy how they had the crowd at the beginning, and then the first run-in took everything away, and then the second run-in killed it. So now these guys are, Benoit's up the tempo a lot. Oh, no, you're not about to sit here and just drag and suplex Bret Hart, though. No, he's not about to take that. Look at this. This how Bret fought to escape the crippler crossface. They heard the crowd getting restless, and this is what they got. Ooh-wee. And somebody threw a toilet paper roll in the goddamn ring. And now they're throwing cups. Why are you throwing cups at Bret Hart? What is wrong with you people? You stupid fucking Canadians. He won, for God's sake. That final stretch was excellent. I wish they had lasted just like another 2 minutes or so, but it was great. And I also didn't like that Benoit gave up so quickly. It seemed like they maybe got low on time and they had to rush to finish. Oh, his kids! I didn't know his kids were gonna be there. That's great. He had a bunch of fucking kids. My God. He literally named his son Blade. That's hilarious. And none of these motherfuckers decided to wrestle. Not one of them. What's wrong with you people? None of you want to wrestle? You got what, 3 sons, 4 sons? Oh, it's Benoit's son that want to wrestle, for God's sake. You know, we're getting dangerously close to a WWE with no hearts, which is going to be the first time since like 1984 or something that it won't be a heart under a WWE contract once Natalya is gone. And she's probably 1 foot out the door already. We already got no McMahons. Soon it's not going to be any hearts. Well, technically TJ will still work there, I guess. But there won't be any on-screen hearts. So it's probably a smart choice considering Triple H is running the booking. I think Triple H likes Natalya, though. He brought her to NXT to help kick off the women's division. Mark Ford says to think 99 was a bad year for WCW and it'll only get worse in 2000. And you know why 99 was bad, right? Because of who took over in October. Early 99 still wasn't great, but that hard shift when Vince Russo took over, oh my God. My lordy, lordy, lord. All right, so that's the show. WCW Mayhem 1999. No Hogan, even though Hogan is on the cover of this thing. No Hogan, he was not on this show. DDP did not wrestle on this show. It's false advertising. I would say it's a thumbs down because of all the Jeff Jarrett, all the run-ins, all the Lex Luger. The matches, a lot of the matches didn't make sense. There were so many matches that I didn't understand why the match was even happening. the Berlin Vampiro thing, and then it had a post-match angle attached to it that didn't make sense with Dr. Death Steve Williams. And then you have Buff Bagwell and Kurt Hennig. There was a run-in that match, but then also Kurt Hennig lost, which thumbs down because he lost to Buff Bagwell. Then you had the Filthy Animals and against the Revolution. There was some element of entertainment there because Eddie was in it. He was good. And the Tori Wilson part of the story was also interesting. But you had Asia in there. It was fine. It was fine mid-card stuff. Luger and Ming, it went on too long. You need to have some mid-card stuff in there because it's a tournament. So you have to give the guys in the tournament a chance to breathe. So that was fine. Booker T and Scott Hall was fun. Of course, they had a run-in. And then the midnight stuff, I didn't get that. I don't understand it. Sid and Goldberg was the only match with no run-ins, and it didn't need it. And it was the shortest match in the fucking card. And it was fun. So that match gets a thumbs up. Brett and Benoit was ruined because of all the run-ins. But overall, that match gets a thumbs up. So I may give individual matches a thumbs up, but I'll give the entire show a thumbs down. What did you guys think? Let me know what you guys thought, and then we'll wrap this thing up. What are your thoughts on WCW Mayhem 1999? We could give you guys like 2 or 3 minutes to give some responses of what you thought of the show, and then we'll go into our final stretch. Yeah, I forgot about Disco Inferno. Tony Marinara. Get the fuck out of here with this. I mean, at least it's Vince Russo making fun of his own people. You know, he likes to make fun of people. At least he's making fun of New York Italians, which is what he is. I'm definitely going to Google Tony Marinara, Midnight, Asia, and Jerry Only. I'm going to look. It wasn't as bad as the rest of the Vince Russo shows would get, especially his television product, which is exceptionally bad. It wasn't that bad because it had a central focus, which is the tournament. But all the Jeff Jarrett, and then we got no resolution to the Jeff Jarrett angle. It's like Vince Russo gave him a mission to go make himself useful or something like that, and it just led to him walking around with a 2x4 and attacking people. And it's like, is that what Vince Russo wanted him to do? Like, did that satisfy Vince Russo? What I don't know. It didn't make sense. You know, it didn't make sense. It was chaotic, you know? I don't know. The Kimberly being super hot was outrageous. Her and David Flair, if you want to do Gaga, okay. You got a tournament going where if you want to, you know, give some people something to look at while they prepare them for the work rate main event. A Gaga Flair Kimberly match is fine. You just needed to have they need to be booked better. Like that's the match where there should have been a ton of run-ins. Just like the Tori Wilson thing should have been a match with a bunch of run-ins. You know, because nobody's gonna believe that Kimberly can disarm a guy on her own. You know, but she did a decent role, and she was hot. And that's all she needed to do. And David Flair played his role, I guess, as good as he could. But not having DDP out there from the beginning or Canyon out there from the beginning, you know, was kind of dumb. Sending Kimberly to the ring by herself was pretty stupid. You had to know that a guy was going to attack, but they decided to drag that shit out. It took forever to get there. So I'll give it overall a thumbs down, but there were elements of the show that I did like. WG Field thought that the show is more entertaining than most of WWE's program post Mania. I'm guessing you mean this year or of 1999, because I don't remember a lot of Raw from 1999. I don't remember a lot of wrestling from '99 anyway. The Triple H got on top around that time. I was like, oof. I'm out of here. I was pretty much on my last legs from '98 anyway. So it was what it was. I guess nobody else watched the show. Oh, this year. Oh, well, there most Raws, Smackdowns, NXTs. Well, not I wouldn't say even say NXT, but most Raws and Smackdowns go off the air with nothing really having been resolved or revealed throughout the entirety of the show, which is what makes the special moments of like CM Punk popping up or something like that. That's what makes that matter. It's because you don't see something every week. There's not a debut every week. There's not a title change ever. You know, even though the champions manage to get pinned all the time. So, I mean, the last title switch I think was what, the Motor City Machine Guns winning the title, or was it? Did that happen before Braun won the title back from Jey Uso? Whenever, but you don't see main event guys wrestling on TV anymore. And I think Sid and Goldberg alone was worth the price of admission when it comes to this Mayhem show. And that's because I like both guys. And I think that Brett and Benoit could have been worth the price of admission alone if they'd have been left to work the match rather than have to deal with all of this stuff, the outside interference. And I think same thing about Scott Hall and Booker T. They could have had a really good match too. Could have had a better finish if Scott Hall and Booker was just allowed to cook. You know, I understand you want to protect Booker, so you kind of want to have some outside interference. And plus, it makes sense because Hall is in the NWO that there would be outside interference. But you have just done it in so many matches on the show that it really just kind of takes away from that particular match. So that's one of the matches where you could have had outside interference and it would have made sense. All right. Thanks everybody for stopping by. I will see you guys tomorrow for our Q&A. Again, special start time of 6 o'clock. And I'll see you guys then.